Ick. This is a new movie that was playing in limited release by Fathom Events. It's not anymore. Uh, wow. This movie was pretty bad. To be honest, Fathom Event movies are usually bad anyways. But this one had me curious because I kind of like the concept where this movie was kind of a political satire of different things. Like we have COVID in here, um, and there's like Alex Jones parodies in here, and I heard some of that stuff. I'm like, okay, that makes me a little bit interested. It's got Brandon Ralph in it, who, I mean, when's the last time that guy done anything? That was Superman a long time ago. I actually heard an interview where he's asked about the new Superman movie. He said he liked it. Kind of cool. But he hasn't really said anything recently. So I was curious about this movie. Bought a ticket last night. I can make it because God, these Fathom events is like, I get why they're in limited release, but sometimes it's so fucking hard to make them. Sometimes it's like, oh, just one night, or these random nights, and I'm like, ah, fuck. So I had to go to two movies at two different theaters just to catch this. But yeah, basically, the concept of this movie is like this thing called the Icks invading this town, and people. It's kind of like a COVID type thing, but not really. Um, this is the second movie, by the way, this month that I've watched that's kind of been like referencing the pandemic. This and Eddington. Wow. I guess this review will come out in August 1st. So in July, I meant, but yeah. I didn't like this movie because for a few reasons. First of all, Brandon Ralph's character felt really miscast in this movie. And because basically there's this daughter character that he finds out might be his daughter. And he's trying to be what I would describe as Paul Rudd's character in Ghostbusters. Where he is trying to be like a goofy dad kind of father to this girl that he isn't really sure of is his daughter. But he's also supposed to be a science teacher, but he doesn't. I guess they make a joke that he wanted to be an English teacher, but he really doesn't come across like a dude who's into science. So that's one problem. He's also not very funny in the right ways. Like his performance just feels off. And the moments where he tries to connect with his maybe daughter just don't work at all. And then the political satire isn't really good because it feels like, oh, that's an Alex Jones parody, but they're not saying anything about Alex Jones or even really making a funny joke. It's just Alex Jones. And yeah, fuck Alex Jones. Let's all make fun of him, right? But why bring it up if you don't have something to say about it, Kind of fucking weird. There's kind of the ick being like a vibe for COVID. Like the way it plays out and the horror aspects of it were decent, but I didn't fully understand what it was, and then also it doesn't play out like in COVID. It doesn't. Yeah, it infects you, but it doesn't infect you in a similar way to COVID. So it doesn't really feel like they were playing into that, other than the sequence where the government is telling them literally to stay indoors, and they're refusing to stay indoors, and they're giving resources to larger cities instead of the smaller ones. I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense, but again, they're still not really saying anything. They're just throwing things at you that's a thing that's political, or that's a idea that we put in this movie, but it's not fleshed out or interesting enough. So the whole time I was watching this movie, I wasn't really necessarily bored. A lot of that had to do to the really good punk, early 2000s soundtrack. All the greatest hits from that time period. Sweet, this movie's gonna do a lot for you. But if you don't, then I know that means, I guess it means nothing to you. But that soundtrack just helped me just kind of stay awake through this, because man, it is just very nothing watching this movie. It's not an awful movie or anything. Like, I would say it's very watchable, but it's not like a watchable where you're engaged at all, basically. So, do I recommend this movie? Not really. Please don't go watch this movie. It's very nothing. So, there you go. Like, share, and subscribe.